I'd like to call the evening session of our January 3rd board meeting to order and welcome those who are here and those who are watching on YouTube. First item up is approval of the agenda.
Mr. Chairman, make a motion to approve the agenda.
I second it.
There's been a motion to second. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carried. Item 2 is public comment. If there's any member of the public who wishes to come forward to address the board, please do so at this time.
Well, I wasn't going to, but nobody's here, so
Please state your name and where you're from.
Joe Preston, I live in Smithfield, Wilson's Mills area. I just wanted to come tonight, actually, just to see what we were talking about, but more than anything, I want to pray for all of you on the board and the decisions you're making. Mr. Hester here, this morning I watched the meeting, made a comment about when you guys approved some development for the
Landfill.
Thank you, landfill. About 20 years ago,
Bought some land.
you know, they bought some land and things like that. And it just, the decisions that you guys make have a major impact down the road. Sometimes it's immediate, but most of the times it's down the road. And we're in such a time right now where everybody is so divided and everything's political and everything else. And I just pray for you guys that you make the right decisions with what's coming up this year. I think this is a very important year for everything that's coming down the road. The unbelievable growth that we have, the people coming into this county. Obviously, you know, my issues are mostly with the school system, but I mean, it really is everything. And I don't mean that in any other way. That I'm praying for all of you to make the right decisions, do the right things, and I wish you all the best 2022. And that's pretty much it, guys. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we'll get this meeting wrapped up.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any emails, Madam Clerk? Okay. Next item is manager reports and comments.
No, sir, I don't have anything. Thank you.
All right. And then finally, we have board reports and comments. And Commissioner Smith, I'll start there. And if you want to come around, any comments?
I'd like to have a closed session about some legal issues that I'd like to talk about.
Okay, can we do, okay, we'll get to that. Mr. Wood? Mr. Harris?
Mr. Chairman, the only thing I would like to add is that the transportation plan that we've had some discussions about, I would like to see us include that as part of our retreat process so that we can have further conversation about an overall transportation plan. It really does bring to light what Mr. Hester said this morning about the property that was purchased 20 years ago. You know, the conversations we have today are the solutions for tomorrow, and so if we don't start having those conversations, then down the road, we're not going to have that in place. So I'd like to include that in our retreat.
Duly noted.
Thank you.
I was just going to use what I used this morning.
Commissioner Godwin?
I would echo that sentiment. I liken it to being a tree farmer. You know, it's a lot of activity, but it's long range. You got to think in terms of long range. So.
Commissioner Braswell?
In the agenda review, we talked about a extension of Glen Laurel Road. Did we miss that this morning, or did it get taken off the agenda?
It was in the consent agenda.
It was the consent agenda?
Yes.
I had mentioned to Commissioner Godwin that we had specifically asked that that they have meetings to receive local input. Was that put in our resolution that we sent? And then I didn't see it in the one I was sent.
I think that the resolution specifically requested that the DOT fund the project. So I don't know that, I don't know, I'm not sure exactly where in the process that was. That wording was
It's not
was
going to
not in
affect a tremendous amount of people, but those few there between the railroad track and 70 Highway are going to be affected. But mostly it's businesses. It's not a lot of, there's very little residential in there. But somehow does affect our the workforce training, the access to the training center there.
Yeah, I do, to kind of clarify, I think the resolution was for the extension of Glen Laurel Road. It didn't include the closing of Powhatan. So our request in our resolution was specifically for
To extend Glen Laurel.
Glen Laurel Road. So, and I think it was, because of the traffic that's
And
there,
also
and also
the
the railroad
safety.
crossing,
Yeah,
yes.
safety.
So both of those. So, anything else? All right.
Mr. Chairman, I move the board go into closed session for purpose of preventing the disclosure of information that's privileged or confidential and not considered a public record pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 143, 318, 11A1, and for the purpose of consulting with our attorney employed by the board in order to preserve the attorney-client privilege pursuant to NCGS 143, 318, 11A3.
There's been a motion.
I second it.
Any discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. I would like to add, Commissioner Tony Braswell could not be here tonight. He had a conflict come up, so that is why he is not here tonight. So with that said, we will go into closed session.